You're listening to KFWB News Talk 980. My name is Les Brown. I'm Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy, and we come your way Monday through Friday from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock to bring you the most positive show in radio. It's designed to uplift your mindset and your attitude about yourself and inspire you to pursue your dreams, because you've got something special. You've got greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. And maybe you're not living your dream right now. Maybe you've gone through some tough times and life has caught you on the blind side, and you've lost your money and lost your retirement or lost your health or lost a relationship that meant a great deal for you. Well, I've got a saying: if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. Absolutely. You've got it like that. Listen, we're talking about what do you do when life catches you on the blind side. You know, all of us need to be prepared for this. They don't teach us that in school. But guess what? There's a lady by the name of Diane, and that's what she does. She's a psychologist. She's on line one, and she works with young people, and she teaches them how to go through stress. And if you're living, if you're breathing, if you have a pulse, you've had some stress. Diane, thank you so much for calling, and thank you for your patience and holding on. And tell us the story about what it is you do, and how do you help young people to learn how to deal with stress?
I want to thank you for your positive messages. It's difficult now during these times for everybody to feel there's anything positive going on. First of all, I'm a school psychologist with LA Unified School District, and I work with kids from preschool all the way through high school. And I've listened to many tragedies and have experienced my own. And I think the most important thing is for somebody to listen to you, who cares about you, whether they are related to you or just friends, it doesn't matter, but to actually reach out and let another human being touch your soul, to listen to you, to be there for you, to actually care is, to me, that was the best mending for me, as well as what I feel like I offer to the students that I work with.
What did you go through, Diane, if you don't mind saying?
Oh, yeah, I've gone through plenty. Well, 8 years ago, I woke up with a heart attack, and that was the biggest shock of my life. It changed my whole life. My thinking about how short and precious life is, and going through a lot of medication, and decided to make changes to fight the best I can to live a healthy life. That was a decision I made. Came internally. It came from the bowels of my heart, is all I can tell you. Yes. I had to really regroup and decide what I'm going to do to take some control over my life. What do I have control over? And having people next to me and going through it with me really, really helped me a lot. And my sister in 2009 was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer out of nowhere. And then 6 months later, my mom's cancer had come back, so I had to deal with both of them dying together, and went 6 months apart from each other.
Wow.
And then my ex-husband passed away in May, so my kids, I had to help them go through, their sorrow. So it's been a long journey of sorrow and pain, but what's helped me is when I have kids that come to me and tell me, their grandmother just passed away or their father just passed away. I had a student the other day whose mother, who I knew for a year, just had an aneurysm, like your previous speaker just said. She went in the hospital Friday and she had an aneurysm and passed on. And the father did not know what to do. So my experience, my strength, my offering what kinds of strategies he could use to help his children and himself has allowed me to give back to society, and that's my pleasure.
Yeah, well, there's no question you've had your share of tragedies. So if you had to crystallize your thoughts as a psychologist and things that that people can begin to do to reset their thinking around handling the tragedies and particularly things that come out of nowhere, 3 steps that you find that can help to create that level of mental resiliency that will allow people to hold on, to get a grip, and to make it through the storms of life. What would those 3 things be?
Well, number one, the shock kind of shatters our clear thinking. So to have somebody that you trust and care about next to you as much as possible. Get somebody right next to you, walking with you, listening to you. That's step number one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to do anything on your own. It's just impossible.
Okay.
And number two, if religion is something that is important to that person, I think, that gives a lot of strength and guidance, and to understand that we're not alone, that we're not singled out and targeted for our pain, that everybody suffers, everybody's going to suffer at some point in their life, and that too will pass. And it doesn't pass, but for me, I've seen, people tell me, it'll get better. It gets easier, but getting better, that's the part where your inner strength has to come in and realize that every day is precious, and to grab onto that. Every moment is precious, and don't think that if you put things off tomorrow, you're going to get things taken care of. You don't know what's coming tomorrow.
That's true.
Like you said, we do not know what's coming around the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and every day is precious. Some days are better than others.
Yes.
But to hold on to a friendship, to hold on to some kind of a faith, to hold on to getting your life, stay in a routine, but maybe do things that you enjoy. That's very important. That's something I did.
Mm-hmm.
I take ceramics. I take yoga. I do art classes. I do ikebana, Japanese flower arranging, just so I don't have to think about the pain all the time. And it really helps.
Yes.
So that's what's helped me, and I encourage my students as well as parents and anybody else that I have helped along the way to know that this isn't the end for you. You will go on, but you have to do things to make yourself feel better along the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard journey, but we have to move forward, and we have to be there to help each other. That's my message.
Mm-hmm.
Help each other. Don't be selfish and say, I can't deal with their pain. It's too hard for me.
Yes.
That's really very selfish thinking.
It is. Well, listen, I want to thank you very much. I can hear this resolution and this peace in your voice, and I'm sure those that are listening have benefited from the things that you have said. And I have most certainly benefited from the things that you said, something that I'm now beginning to do, and that is to nurture my own spirit, doing things that I enjoy, simple things, like you mentioned, yoga and other things that can enrich your spirit, and being with my grandchildren and people that I love and care about me, and people I know that care about me. Listen,
absolutely.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you calling in and sharing, and thank you for the good work that you're doing with our young people, helping them to get the tools to handle the stresses of life. Thank you for listening. God bless you, Diane. You're listening to Les Brown on Mrs. Mamie Brown's Baby Boy. We've been talking about handling the earthquakes of life, and there's no question that you live long enough, you haven't had one, you will, because in life you're either in a problem or just left one or headed toward one. You're listening to KFWB News Talk 980.